I did see what you did there, man. No FOMO. You got FOMO? No FOMO. Sounds like remember that Hello Moto? Remember that old school freaking
I don't even remember which auto brand used to do that. But I remember. Oh wait, no, that was Motorola, wasn't it? When you turn on your Motorola phone, it was like "Hello, Moto."
I think so.
Like what?
I think so. Yeah, dude.
Whoa!
What is going on there, dude?
That is R2.
Oh, nice.
On my text.
Yeah. So we went and saw Marvels yesterday. I guess we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I came home because wifey was at a gala last night, and this is kind of random, but I just kind of wanted to point out for you would be I need content. I need to watch something. Dude, have you watched this new series on Apple TV?
No, I mean I actually haven't turned on Apple TV in quite a while. I added it to my list.
Yeah,
but dude, Apple TV pisses me off because you can't have it on multiple things at once.
That's right.
So it's like my I let my folks use my Apple for their because my mom watches the morning show and stuff like that, and that's been having new episodes come out, and so I let her use that, and I have to check with them before I start watching anything on Apple. Not that I have to, but it's otherwise I'll get a phone call being like, "Did you touch the
phone
Apple
call?"
account?" Well, they'll call you. Did you touch the Apple account? I'll be at work or something, and there's did you touch the account? I'm like, no.
Oh my goodness, that's intense.
Or yes, I had to watch something.
Oh, we got a new peeps in the chat. Melon and Manga. I've been watching a couple of their episodes on Manga. Pretty cool show, man. Because I just been we've been talking about trying to do Manga stuff more, just to learn more about it. Check them out, guys. They're on YouTube. They're trying to grow their channel. I think they're 160, but man, they get 25 live. Good stuff. Fun crew. Check them out, y'all. Manga stuff. And then I just put the link in the Discord real quick just for fun. And Michael Baker. My Motorola phone still says Hello Moto. You have a Motorola phone still, man? I think they're that's crazy.
I think
what's going on?
Well, didn't they come back with they came back with a new Razr recently, right? Didn't they? Isn't Motorola the Razr phone?
I think you're right I think you're right.
I can't remember. It's been Apple and Samsung for so freaking long now that back when we were phones, I could still, I'm old enough to be back when cell phones first came out, there was it was Nokia and Motorola and all those phones. But it's I remember back then everybody would bitch about how big and bulky they were and they wanted smaller phones. And so we got those little tiny ones, the little Nokias and stuff, the little brick phones. And then all of a sudden they just got bigger and bigger and bigger again.
So, remember that old Will Ferrell SNL skit where he comes out with the tiny phone? It's where did you go? Oh, that little tiny phone he comes out. I don't know.
Oh yeah, at the shop, the clothing shop. He comes out on that little cart. And he hold on, let me answer this.
And he has to keep from laughing because everyone's about to crack up. So other than so you didn't answer my question. Did you watch the show? So you haven't watched it, or you're just upset with Apple? Your boycotting
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. I think you would dig it. I think you totally would dig it. I think anyone. It's so kind of some. I'm not a big Godzilla fan, but I watched the 2014 movie with Aaron what's his face and Heisenberg. Really good movie. They start a brand new universe. I feel everyone's trying to start a brand new universe and just to make good to incorporate stuff just kind of MCU style. But I really dug the old 2014 movie. This series now, I was looking it up before I watched it, and I was like, oh man, are they going to restart the series? Is this going to be current times? Is this considered a sequel? It's actually a year after the events of the 2014 movie, so it's within that kind of universe. Interestingly enough, we have check it out. And the reason I bring it up for comic book peeps, let's see here. You'll see why.
It's because Godzilla.
Because Godzilla. It's not the director. It's the producer of this show. God damn it, Monarch.
Executive producer?
No, it's what's his face is like, oh gosh, I can't remember. Hold on, people. Oh my god, I'm having like really bad. Okay. The reason I thought it was very interesting for comic book peeps, it's because Matt Fraction, folks, is developing this series. So I think his touch on comic book writing is kind of having me intrigued. Like I started watching it without thinking of him being, and I kind of Wikipedia and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's a really good show. It goes back and forth between 2015 and then like the 50s, I want to say. And they do a really good job of like kind of meshing the two together. Watch it in 4K.
So this isn't anything to do with no, it is. This this is like a spin, but like because they've moved forward past the Millie Bobby Brown, Miley, whatever the hell her name is, 11.
Yeah.
They moved past like her standpoint as far as the movies are concerned, but this is attached to that universe. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So it's like it's not a prequel. I would say it's like a direct sequel to the first.
Because doesn't this have to do with the company? I can't remember the name of the company, but the ones that are kind of like that knew about the monsters had been trying to like keep them hidden and blah 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 and under surveillance.
Yeah, Monarch is the company, I guess. I only watched 2 episodes. Yeah, Kurt Russell shows up in the second episode.
With his dashing hair now.
Yeah. Wyatt Russell's in it. Kurt's son. He plays a pretty cool role in it. I think it's pretty cool that father and son are in the movie. For you comic book nerds, he's obviously
Durs is in it too.
Who?
Anders Holm, the guy over there on the.
Oh, this guy. Yeah. He's in it too.
I know him from Workaholics. I used to watch that show. So.
Okay. Yeah, the cast is pretty good, man. I mean, I think as much as Apple gets a lot of crap, they put out really good content. I mean, it's really high quality stuff, whether it's like too smart or just filmed really well. I think this is like, I think IMDb gave it like 9.9 out of 10. Someone gave it a perfect score as far as like shows concerned, but
the new movie, Godzilla 0 or whatever it is, that apparently got a perfect like Rotten Tomatoes score before it even came out. Not that I like value their score too much, because like 90% of the time I usually align with the audience score versus the actual Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah. What's up, Fedora? Yeah, but I thought the cast was, it's a pretty cool show. Like I'm actually gonna rewatch it and try and convince wifey to watch it with me, but she's so scared of monsters. Monsters are scary. Oh.
This is like sci-fi monsters. If she watched Prometheus, then she would. Yeah,
she's gonna run in here and smack me in the back of the head. Watch this. She's gonna run in here.
You won't even like see it. You'll see a hand come in like what?
I know. Real quick, I just want to say what's up to the audience real quick. I've been highlighting some folks in here, but Manny was in. I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for coming through. Rasper, he's in our Discord. I'm really getting into more so like the actual physical copies of like video games, but specifically like Blu-rays and steelbooks. This guy just puts in the good stuff, man. So if you're not in our Discord, please join. Let me know. I think we need some really good manga stuff. So if the manga peeps in here want to join, like I think I love the contributions to the Discord. We're lacking a little bit of manga, I should say. Fedora is like our resident manga expert in general.
Yeah, but nobody. I post, but nobody care about it, So I'm like,
I care.
Yo,
man.
You know what's so crazy? I do not flip or sub books, but Midtown Comics had some like they had some like old manga stuff, and they had this one manga. I forgot the name of it, but it was old and like it was worth a good amount, and they just had it on the discount rack.
Oh, doubt.
So then there's like this kid, this customer is this kid. He's getting into like manga, and I was like, "Yo, just buy this." And he was like, "Why?" I was like, "Just buy it." And he bought it, and he came back the next day, and he was like, "Yo, thanks, man." And I already knew what he knew that I knew. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So it was City Hunter. There we go.
No doubt. Doc Joe, yes, hello. Hi. I'm sorry. Wade, what's going on, man? Wade, I gotta give a big shout out to Wade. He put me on the greatest game of 2023. You guys may or may not know, but I've been playing a lot of.
Is it Spider-Man?
It might be Spider-Man.
No,
but yeah, I've been streaming the game, just doing missions and stuff, man. But if you guys don't have a PS5, pickles, and you are curious about the new game, I've been streaming just missions here and there, going live randomly. It's kind of fun.
What's that no Easter egg you found?
Bro, you gotta watch it, man.
I mean, people got to go sift through an hour of you jankily playing a game.
Yeah, right, bro. Like,
you know what, Jason? Shut up.
So you want that Easter egg? You got to sit through torture.
You know, you can fast forward, okay? You know, people like watching that stuff, okay? Rude. What's up, Cody? What's going on? The distributor in Iowa, the beer distributor in Iowa. What's going on? But yeah, so going into the show real quick. Yeah, you guys hit that like button, subscribe, tell all your peeps, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it, and I do appreciate everyone coming through on a Sunday at 10:13 a.m. Pacific time, 1 o'clock East Coast. What time? Central's like what, 11? Anyway,
Central's like 12, I think.
12. Oh,
Central's an hour behind us.
Got you. I can never get my time straight, man. But yeah, I Fedora, actually, you inspired me about this list because like after the last show we were kind of talking about FOMO, and it's kind of like, I think a lot of times like FOMO, you guys don't know what FOMO stands for. It stands for fear of missing out. Okay, you know what that means, right? You know what FOMO means, Jason, right?
Fear no man.
Oh God. Okay. All right.
There should be no fear when it comes to comic book collecting.
That's right. Exactly. Or manga or anything, right? But man, like, the show's kind of geared towards like not trying to waste your money and not trying to fall into that gap, right?
AKA, as some might say, policing the community.
Policing the community. I would say policing, because man, it's short for homosexual Bradwell. That's hilarious. Trey, what's going on, Trey? Fedora's not homeless. He's just always on the streets, man. That's his MO.
At first, it was always because I was working,
getting off work. So he's always working, man. He's always like, that's New York, man.
But now
that's
I kind of do it on purpose because like that's just kind of the gimmick now. Yeah. So I have to honor the gimmick.
Oh, and real quick to all you Oklahoma City fans, like, okay, I can't like Oklahoma City, but I can respect their game. But can I just say, Trey and I, Chet Holmgren, Rookie of the Year, he hit a 3-pointer to send Oklahoma City into overtime. Fucking that guy's gonna F Wemby. It's Chet Holmgren, Rookie of the Year, all the way.
Those dudes need to both put on like a bunch of weight before they get broken in half like sticks. Like I get scared as hell watching those dudes play like they're gonna misplant and just snap a freaking leg or something.
Dude, same. You know what? Like I was thinking about that too. KD, dude, was pretty skinny too, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, you gotta remember too, man. Like
but KD's like an outside shooter. These guys are being asked to play under the hoop.
I mean, a little bit, but like Chet's. I mean, he hit a 3-pointer to send the game into overtime.
Yeah.
So, but no, I get what you mean, man. Can't succeed with the name Chet. Oh, that is, yeah. I guess I kind of believe that. Manny, you'll see the list and you'll appreciate it. Anyway, back to the list. So basically, like, I think there's a lot of books that you like myself, Jason, Fedora, we all look at. We're like, oh man, I really like that. I really like that book. I'm gonna pay 5 times cover price for it because everyone's paying, that price, and I don't think it's gonna go down. And then what happens is like, oh shit, this book is like a $10 book 2, 3, 4 weeks later, right? And Jason and I were like in our 40s. Our FOMO, what I was trying to tell Fedora back in the day was like, and Jason, you probably know this too, right? Like, our FOMO was the top 10 wizard, right? You know what I mean? Like we didn't have internet back then. Like, so if you saw top 10 on Wizard, it would, as a kid, like I wanted that book. I wanted that Darkness #1 or that Witchblade #1. Am I right?
Usually by then it was like too late.
Yeah.
And then they'd publish that thing like monthly, and then you'd get it. It's like, here's your top list. It's like, well, that came out weeks ago.
Yeah. And like, and couple it now. Book comes out that morning and everyone's like talking about it. Like the FOMO hits like that afternoon, obviously with like previews. And if you guys aren't subbed out to Ultra Maximus, his FOC is unique and delicious. It's a weird description, but it's great. Follow him on YouTube, all that good stuff, and support him, please. Thank you so much.
You just described him like he was a cocktail.
No, I support his YouTube channel. He's just anyway.
Unique and delicious with a smoky flavor.
Shut up. That was pretty good. But but with that said, there are some books that actually, I would say like go up in value, but like they hold their value from the FOMO point that you paid that money for, right? So hey man, we're waiting patiently, man. It's all good. You gotta do it when you can, but it's the only FLC show I watch, so it's all good. If Ultra Maximus is not doing an FLC show, I just don't watch him. Yeah, 100%. So but yeah, so like there are, like I said, there are some books that do hold value. You're smart on doing, getting the FOMO or paying the FOMO, whatever. And yeah, we're going to look at some that are definitely FOMO books that probably shouldn't go after, whether that be DC or MCU, DCU spec, unless you want to read them.
Or maybe some FOMO books you should go after.
Exactly, like Fedora said. And
I think I think people like for me, like going on like the CBSI, the Facebook groups and the forums and all these other places where people talk comics is where I'm lurking. And if you have his Facebook, you might see me leave a comment on some ratio, some mooks out there that are saying dumb stuff. But I think we're confusing. Like, I feel like anytime a book is hot for whatever reason, we go, oh, it's FOMO. It's FOMO. It's FOMO. It's FOMO. It's FOMO. And like sometimes there's some cases where people are actually reading their books and they want to complete a run. And maybe the book is low print, so the book shoots up. And it's like, and everybody's like, oh no, it's FOMO. And I'm like, could people actually be reading their books and basing their opinion on that?
Yeah.
Like, so I think FOMO, I think people are getting it twisted on what FOMO actually is and isn't. So we're here today to let you know what is FOMO.
Well, and I started to notice like what you were talking about with Spirit World, which is one of the newer DC runs that they did. I noticed that like the first 2 books, super easy to get. When I hit book 3, 4, 5, like I'd go back and they'd be sold out, or like they were like, oh, we just sold the last copy of this and that. And I'm like, dang it, man. Like I'm not looking, it's not FOMO. I'm just trying to finish the run because I'm really enjoying the story and what's going on. And it's just like all of a sudden those books are becoming harder to find. I'm just like, God damn it, now I got to order them off of eBay or something like that.
Now you got to pay that $20, right?
Yeah.
And then some mook looks on eBay and then sees people paying $20. Then he goes on the CBSI Facebook group and he goes, oh, look at FOMO. And I'm like, no, people like the book, bro. That doesn't make it FOMO. You know, that just means people want it in their collection. Like, but yeah, anyways, take it away, Ferd.
No, man, like again, dude, like you when it's sometimes hard to find topics to talk about, right? And sometimes we have to like redact them or like whatever. But you put on a different, you suggested this show, so I appreciate you. And yeah, let's just get into it, man. Without further ado, hold on. Aju. Oh my gosh,
I want French dip. Like a good French dip or a good even Western dip with the burger patty in it sounds.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude. Okay, so real quick before I do this, is it just me? But like, do you miss the Aju dip? Like, remember back in the day? I don't know, Fedora, if you had this too, but
what, like the lunch ones?
Yeah. Well, remember you got that lunch like calendar, and it was like for like okay, we're in November, right? And so they give you the December list like maybe next week before you go on for Thanksgiving. And so like you highlight, man, Aju Day. Like I put
we did get the lunch.
Well, you get that calendar though?
Talking about in school?
Yeah, like elementary school. You know what I'm talking about?
I remember the calendar, but what the hell? I never cared for it.
Oh man, I put that shit up on my freaking.
Well, everybody always put that. Everybody always marked the pizza day too, and they'd give you that square ass.
Yo, I was literally just about to say that, but I only care about the pizza day. But we had like different pizzas sometimes. Like
it's New York.
Triangle.
Yeah, ours was always
like
ours was like they took that square baking tray and just made like a big ass square like pizza because it wasn't.
We didn't even have a square. We had like it was like a round circle, or it was like it looked like a long pita bread.
Yeah,
it looked like a baguette with cheese on it.
That sounds.
We never got a triangle, and I was always confused as a kid. But I would put mayonnaise on my pizza when I was a kid, and everybody was like, "Ew, what the hell?" And I was like, "Nah, man, this is good." I would never do that today, though. But I was built different when I was a kid. I don't know what the hell I was on. But anyways, listen,
that's great. I love it.
We're getting way off track. On pizza.
It's like that's like me with meatloaf. Like I did that the other day. Somebody made meatloaf, and I put mustard on my meatloaf. That's how I always eat it,
bro.
And they're just like, there's like, you eat mustard on your meatloaf? I'm like, fuck yeah. I was like, have you ever tried it?
You're a grown man putting mustard on your meatloaf, bro.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's the best. A little sweet and sour mixed.
That's a mojo. Yeah, so I mean, sorry. That was great. I love that discussion right there. Just random.
I'm hungry now.
I know, me too.
I got too many ideas of what I want to eat later.
I know. Beneath the trees where nobody sees, Fedora. You had this like a week and a half before the book came out. What's great about Fedora being like boots on the ground in Midtown is, he actually is in the stores versus us, right? We're just reading online and like hoping like, yada yada. But you called this out like I said, a week and a half, few weeks before it came out. And you just said it was basically like a good read. You didn't say like, "Oh, pick this up, it's little print, yada yada," which is you always do that anyway. But
I didn't even know it was low print. I didn't even look into it. I just picked it up off the shelf and I was like, "Oh, this looks sick." A little cute bear holding a sack of unalived bodies.
I swear to God, man, like I don't know whatever, but like it was just weird because like literally a day later, it was on a bunch of lists, to pick up, or like, this is like the one, the FOC of the week, yada, yada. Now it's selling for like $15 to $25 raw. It's consistently about a month or so after it came out, maybe less than a month.
I was telling everybody to read it.
I haven't been able to read it because it's too expensive now.
And I found a copy in Linwood. I still have it actually. I read it like the first couple pages, and I was like, "Oh shoot, I'm gonna press this before I read it," which is dumb. But man, I mean, like this is. I mean, is this FOMO in your opinion, Fedora?
No, I think it's for. It was like a if you know, you know, because I've been telling everybody to read this. The crazy part, I was begging people to read this book. I was like, "Yo, read it. You got to read it. Buy it. Buy it. Buy it. Buy it." Some people pick it up off the shelf. Only 2 people listened to me, and it was a writer for a comic. I forget his name, but he picked it up because, obviously he's a writer. He wants to be in the know. I think he worked on some some Scout Comics books. He's like a really nice guy. And then it was just some girl that was just wandered in, and she kind of reads comics, but not really. Yeah. And then she just liked the premise that I described to her, and then that was it. But we had stacks of them, like at every location, and it didn't move.
It didn't move, huh?
No. So then when I guess the FOC list came out, or everything came out, it moved a little bit, but we still had copies on the shelf. Obviously, they're like about $10 now, $10 a pop, $15. I don't really know what they repriced them at, but I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you know, they had copies, nobody wanted to buy them, you know, so now people are coming in to flip them. But I just think it's a good read. It's a good read. I think I don't think this is FOMO. I think it's people who read it are like excited about it.
Yeah, and it's organic. It's, you know, it's from a small publisher, right? So there's probably, you know, it's not from the big two, obviously. Jason, you said you want to read this book, but you don't. I mean, it's kind of pricey to get.
I can't find it in store, and you go on eBay to try to buy it, and it's like, I think I've let my bid go all the way up to like $15 for 2 copies of it. Like, it's the 2 different covers or whatever. And then it still gets outbid. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not spending more than that. Just like, well, I just want to read it. Like, I ain't trying to like flip it.
And Fedora, I mean, and that's smart too, man. Like, you know, especially like this economy, like, you know, you have to be kind of wary about where your money goes. And like, is it really worth like $25 to read a 5-minute copy of a book, you know?
I'm kind of hoping that maybe the price will come back down a little bit. Like, because that, the one book that he was talking about too, the Devil That Wears My Face, I've been looking into getting those ones. And I started to notice that now that a little bit of time has passed, I'm able to find them for about $3 to $5 or so on eBay. So I'm just kind of like, I started adding them to my cart just so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, so I can kind of like read them as I go.
Yeah, that's another great.
So I'm hoping that maybe this will happen with this. Like, maybe as time goes on, it'll come back down a little bit, and I can just kind of pick off like, okay, I book 1, 2, 3. Because it's like, I'm not worried about getting clean copies of them necessarily. I mean, it can have a friggin' detached cover for all I care. I just want to read it.
It's, dude, you're gonna. I don't know if you read it yet, but yeah, dude, like you'll dig it, man. I read it like I think a couple times over. Probably read it before in the show. Yeah, and Doc Joe, incredibly on point there. Yeah, FOMO and a good read, which is like, I think you kind of want to hit that spot, right? If you're like quote unquote investing or whatever. But the shitty thing is like when it's FOMO and then you pay, you know, whatever, and then it goes down quite a bit, right? This is held okay value, you know, which is great, man. So I would say this one's FOMO. However, it's stable. It's like kind of stabilized FOMO. So you can see other prices there. And I think it's, you know, it's organic. It's not like it was optioned. It's not like, Will Smith's production company is going to take this and, you know, do whatever, or, you know, this is limited copies and yada yada. It's just straight up like a good read, man. And I think that's important for, you know, what our hobby is all about, right? So cool, good stuff. This one was FOMO when I bought it back in the day.
It's still FOMO today.
And I would say it's one of my favorite reads of all time. J. Michael Straczynski, J. Scott Campbell cover. First appearances.
You got those glorious Peter Parker buns, like right on the cover.
Yeah. Oh, delicious.
Just flexing.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I remember loving this book when it came out. I've had this graded for like maybe 4 or 5 years. Kind of reminds me. It's a little bit. It reminds me a little bit of like my youth and all that stuff, but definitely it's hitting the FOMO. Obviously, we have a couple of these Spider-Man books out or Madam Web books out in this list. It's hit a bunch of top 10 lists, you know, with great, you know, with good reason. This was selling for like 10 to 15, like newsstand. I saw a couple like weeks ago or about a month ago or so. You know, with the appearance of Moreland in the Madam Web trailer, this shot up, I would say. It's hit a little bit of FOMO. I don't know when people are gonna like learn that, you know, when a trailer comes out and you're buying into it, like don't expect to make your money at that price point. It's just that's definite FOMO. Because again, this book was selling for like 30% lower before the trailer came out.
We had one at Midtown Comics at the.
Did it fly off after the?
Yeah, no, we sold it before that. Like we put it out the same day we got it, and I think that weekend, like some tourists came in and were like, "Yo, we like the cover, we want to buy it," and we sold it for I think around 20, 25.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, because some people are just coming in and they want like something to bring back. So,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, I got this at Midtown. Oh, I saw this cool comic book in New York, and here you go, right? Yeah. I saw a November sale, not November 1, but a recent November sale go for 158, 9.8. This was selling for 9.8 for like 110 about a month ago. I know that because I'm looking for this book. Do you guys think this is FOMO or what?
Hey, no, for sure that's FOMO.
Jason, what do you think?
Yeah, I think when when I consider FOMO, I always consider it to be like older books, like past usually. Yeah.
Especially in the collector's market today, right? It wasn't like that back in the day.
We have a lot of the compendiums of this specific story arc.
Oh, really? It's a great story arc to read.
Yeah, it is, but nobody buys it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so usually, like, when I'm looking for like things like FOMO and things like that, if nobody's buying the compendium because they think the story is sick, and then they buy the issue, then it's just like, I mean, so if kids are coming in to buy the compendiums, to buy the graphic novels, to read it, and then it correlates with people buying the singles and things like that, and this is not the perfect storm. It just seems like trailer dropped. Then they want to try and get in.
If anything, dude, like I'd list my book, if you're trying to sell it. I mean, this is the perfect time to sell it. A lot of people were like harping on the Madam Web trailer. I didn't mind it. I was kind of like, cool, it's a Sony show. I probably won't go to the movie theaters to watch it. Take it with a grain of salt. There's a lot of spider,
the cast is hot.
Cast is very nice. The cast is very nice. I definitely think this is FOMO as well. Don't buy this right now, is basically what we're saying. And I know a lot of people in the chat, you guys are hardened veterans, so you probably won't be doing that. But yeah, if you maybe list it if you got a copy. This is a hard one for me because like it's this Dazzler book has held up for, and I didn't do the first appearance, I just did the first cover. I don't know why. The Taylor Swift is like hot right now, right? She's like the definition of FOMO right now. Anything Taylor touches like is doing well. So I didn't look at prices.
Except for Travis Kelce.
Oh, you got him on your fantasy team?
No.
Oh.
But he's had a couple down weeks.
Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't. I was watching the Super Bowl last year on replay yesterday at a bar. But yeah, man, I mean, like, so it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of hard to say if this is FOMO or not. But this is definitely like, if you are buying this now, you're on the hope that Taylor Swift rumors are true, but your upside is very limited, in my opinion, because if Dazzler ever makes it to this big screen, it's going to take a long time for her to get there. So I feel like this is FOMO based off really bad data because it's not confirmed, right? I mean, she's still doing her damn tour, as far as I know. I don't really know, but
adding dates.
Man, she's adding dates, so it's like, I mean, she's busy as hell. She's the hottest star in the world right now. The X-Men aren't even coming. Like, there's no like real. I mean, spoilers if you haven't seen Marvels, like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beast shows up in the end credit scene from the original X-Men series. So
Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer's in it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, like, that was the one thing I got out of it. But yeah, Jason, consensus? It's FOMO?
On Dazzler?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it's FOMO. Like, she's not even a good character.
Why are you yelling at me?
People be buying up this book of that goddamn Harpy Homewrecker. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She's the reason that Cyclops and fucking Jean Grey split in the comics, and then she becomes Phoenix.
Yeah.
He sees old Dazzler, or she sees Dazzler like kind of cuddling up to old Cyclops when they're fighting.
Yeah. I like the cuddling part. Oh, what? Sorry. Fedora. I'm assuming you probably. I think you told me this is pretty much FOMO, but
yeah, I know Dazzler has like I know she has a cult following. And I know that there's some people that I've met that don't know shit about comics that love Dazzler, and they buy like Dazzler toys and shit. So I think the potential is there if she ever comes into a movie. But and then there's little girls that come into the shop and they go, "Yo, you have any Taylor Swift comics?" And I just give them like a Dazzler. Yeah, just like Dazzler. Like, yo, this is a rumor. I don't know, but yeah. And then the parents go, "All right, she looks like Taylor Swift. Here, take it." So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's FOMO.
Yeah,
Sure. Because they had the people in the football game, and then everybody was like, "Oh my God, is she gonna?" Yeah.
Oh, the cast. Yeah.
All right,
that was pretty funny. Yeah. Man,
it's FOMO with a lot of potential upside.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it's just gonna take forever, right? Like I was saying earlier, it's just gonna take a long time.
Because if Dazzler is in Deadpool, right? Let's just say, and it's Taylor Swift, and it goes crazy. I mean, it would be dumb for them not to put her back in, but I don't know if Taylor Swift would reprise the role.
Yeah.
Because what we're seeing is like, we're seeing John Krasinski get recasted. We're seeing like a lot of other people kind of get recasted. So I feel like if you're gonna buy this book, just go into the mindset of if Dazzler shows up, if she returns, it may or may not be Taylor Swift. That's
a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, and for me, it's like I always take, especially with what they did with the X-Force in Deadpool 2, how they hyped everybody up, made them think it was going to be in it, and then they just killed them all within like 5 minutes of the movie or whatever. It's like I take everything associated with the Deadpool movie with a grain of salt, because sure, Taylor Swift could be in it, and it could just be like for a hot minute where they like pop into somewhere where Dazzler's performing and singing and then gets killed like immediately or something like that. It could be something weird like that because it is a Deadpool movie.
Yeah, dude, and then like freaking the Illuminati gets like freaking 86, like
destroyed by Wanda.
Yeah. That's another. Yeah, everyone was like, oh.
Everybody was so excited. Like I was hyped for X-Force. I was like, oh, dude, they're forming the X-Force and this and that, and like I you get up there and they're all getting ready to jump out of the freaking plane, and then dead, like all of them. I'm just like, what the hell?
Dead. Yeah, that's hilarious. Ghost Rider 17. I didn't mention the Wolverine book just because I didn't mention it.
That's FOMO. That Wolverine book is FOMO for sure.
Oh, the crossed up.
I thought that was total FOMO, and do not pay more than $2 for that book. But this Ghost Rider 17, I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 about it because I dig the cover. It's a later issue, right? And a lot of people I've been asking just peeps around like, hey, like I'm just kind of over the Miles series. I'm not really reading Spider-Man as much as I initially was. What's a new series to talk about? I know Southpaw is not in the chat, but Southpaw has definitely suggested, Ghost Rider is really good, or just people in the Discord have just mentioned that, Ghost Rider is awesome. You got to pay Ghost Rider. I think Jason, you've mentioned like the Ghost Rider books you read is really good. I don't think this is FOMO. I think this is more of like, oh shoot, I didn't have this on my pull list or I wasn't looking for it. It's a really good story. I'm playing catch up. You know what I mean? So it's not FOMO. And Doc Joe, I think we're in agreement. I bought it, buddy, because it's badass. I think it's badass too. I would say 2023 top comic book. What are your guys' thoughts about this? I'm going to start with Fedora.
Oh, I've been reading this Benjamin Percy since like the first one, and it's been brilliant, like through and through. We spoke about it in the Discord where it was just like Thalia Godroad. I forgot Godroad, whatever her name is. She appears in the first book. Then we got Exhaust. That's a new villain that appears in the later series. Then in the later series we got Moonchild. So I think that there's a lot of first appearances in the story, and in a story that's a good story. So I feel like organically, this is kind of like another series where, like, if you know, you know, you know. And when I mean like not many people have been buying it, well, I'm not gonna say not many people have been buying it. We haven't been ordering much, you know, and we order a lot of stuff, and the people who have been paying attention to it have been buying it. So even though we don't order much, it flies off the shelf like every month. And
Yeah.
17 in specifically, I bought it twice by mistake because I wasn't paying attention. Like I came in one day and I bought it, and then I came back another day and I bought it. I wasn't paying attention, and that just shows you how much I love Ghost Rider. That like or this run is like when I seen it on the shelf, I bought it immediately. I wasn't even thinking, you know, because that's just a book that every Wednesday you just gotta have it.
Yeah.
So I think like a lot of like the hardcore readers have been buying it, and I guess the streets have been noticing, and then now people are like looking into it, and then they're seeing this ridiculous, well, not ridiculous price, but it's selling for like 50 bones raw sale, I think.
I'm just curious. Let's check it out.
I think I saw one for 50. Don't quote me though.
No, you're good, man. Because I was looking up, I was like, oh, should I put like sales on this? And I was like, I'm lazy. But like, I mean, look at $36 for both covers. I cannot find this anywhere. I went to like 4 different shops to try and find this book, and I just couldn't find it.
It's you're not gonna
$50.
Yeah, $50. Yeah, 42.
This is like a 9. I mean,
30.
That's healthy for this market, man. So, this is one of the reasons why I think I should get Marvel like digital and just do that eventually, because I meant what I meant to do was so I picked up like issues 16, 14, 15, 16. I really dug it. I thought it was like a really cool story. The
second prints. I was even buying the second prints. Like the second prints of 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I was buying all the prints.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
the second prints are even. We were getting like 10 copies in the store, and but keep in mind we order a lot.
Yeah.
And what happens
of course,
at Midtown is people get like this false sense of security because we order a lot. It's always going to be there. Yeah. But no, we order a lot because we get a lot of people that come in. We have a lot of readers who come in regularly. So what may look like a lot to me, since I like work there, it's not a lot in the greater scheme of things.
Yeah, you have like 100 people going in to buy 75 books.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. Yeah. So your guys' demand is way higher than, even though it's
like,
the
average shop.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Midtown's like, I mean, that's the shop, you know.
We have people coming in with fucking like little baskets. Like
that's crazy.
Spending
I've never seen that before.
There's a guy who spends $200 a week,
that's so
if that,
books,
on books. Yeah. So just keep in mind that that's like a thing that happens.
Yeah, no, that's really good, like stuff that I don't think of personally. You know, because like the stores around us, it's like there's like probably four or five, and I mean like I don't really know who they cater to, but like I'll ask them like, oh, how many copies of like issue 7 of Venom 20 or the 2020 run this one guy gets? He's like, oh, I'll probably get like 11 or 15. And you got to think like if he's in the greater Seattle, area, you're probably going to fly off the shelves because that was a Donny Cates run and, whatever. So I got to imagine like, at Midtown or New York, it's like kind of the same deal. Jason, have you been reading the Ghost Rider run?
I have not, no.
I think you dig it, man. Another book. I mean, if you got Marvel Digital, just catch up on it. I think you really like it. So yeah, I would say this is like.
You didn't read it?
Me?
No, Pickles.
Bro, no, I haven't read any Ghost Rider in a long time.
You're a heavy metal guy, and you're not even reading Ghost Rider.
Oh man,
I haven't liked most Ghost Riders since like the 90s.
You're killing me, bro.
Read this one, dude. You'll like. If you don't read it, Fedora's gonna be upset. Oh,
I'll probably read it at some point. I mean, it's never been recommended to me either. So
read it this month.
Read like issue 1 because you got the Marvel app, right? Yeah, read a couple like
Please.
today. It's
I
good.
love you.
It's really good.
Like I'm slowly working through some books over there. I've just finally got to Moon Knight City of the Dead books 1 and 2 this morning.
Moon Knight is baby
to,
stuff.
Try and read a little bit before the show.
Baby stuff compared to Ghost Rider. Baby stuff.
Jason's still trying to catch up on his MLP.
Well, I'm just like I've tried to make it. I just noticed that I've been slacking on like reading the books that I have here.
Yeah.
Or that I bought that I've been meaning to read. So I've tried to make it a point every morning before the show. I try to read at least a couple of them to get through it a little bit.
Yeah.
Today just happened to be the Moon Knight books were at the top of the pile. It's not bad so far.
Yeah. No, that's cool. And yeah, I mean that's why we do, man. We just read your books, all that good stuff. Next on the list, good discussion on that one, guys. I enjoyed that one. ASM 210, first appearance of Madam Web. Trailer just came out. This is definite FOMO. I mean, this book was. I remember when the announcement came out. I sold this book raw for $86, and it was like 8.5 maybe. That was 2020, 2021. But this book was selling for like 15 to 25 maybe. I saw some pretty shitty like graded or raw books going for 50 this week since the trailer came out. This is definite FOMO in my opinion. No one's ever given a shit about Madam Web unless you're a hardcore, like, in my opinion, unless you're a hardcore fan of the cartoon series that came out when we were kids, Jason.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, that's the only reason why I would buy this book is because of Madam Web from the animated series, not the movie.
Yeah. Again, like I don't really care one way or the other about like the Madam Web series or the Madam Web movie. Like if they want to make it, they want to make it. I don't have any like ties to like getting rid of my books based off a movie. That's silly. But man, I wouldn't. Yeah, like I said, like I think we're all in agreement. Like this is definite FOMO. Fedora is giving a big thumbs down. Talk about it, man.
This book was like $1. Like ever since I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to see this in like the quarter bins and everything like that when I was a little kid. Like I remember seeing this book a lot. Like even as an adult on eBay for $1.99, $2.99. And then when they announced the Madam Web movie, like during the pandemic, it shot up from like $1 to $50 to $80 to $100. The newsstand was going crazy, and I'm like, who's buying this garbage?
Yeah, it was one of those books that's just like, how many books that went from like $2 to like $180 during the pandemic.
I will say this, that like if you're trying to 3D big brain galaxy brain chess this, Into the Spider-Verse is like the Miles Morales movie. There's a good chance that Madam Web might be in it. Now, this is just what I think, because right, like, and when I was watching the second movie, I was thinking like, well, Miguel O'Hara, he's not even controlling like 1% of the verse of the Spider-Verse. Like he's controlling like a speck of sand in a desert. So obviously he's being an a-hole because he answers to someone, and if he destroys it, he has to a boss, right? He has to. He has to. There's no way, right? So who is he so afraid of like that he has to like? So Madam Web, right? Because she sees everything. She's omnipresent. Yeah. So I'm thinking part 3, Madam Web is going to show up and fix everything.
That is a theory.
So if you want to, right?
Yeah. No, I like that. You
can't have a Spider-Verse movie without Madam Web. It wouldn't make sense. How are you going to fix all that? Like, it's in the movie, it's unrepairable at that point. So if you want to big brain it and you want to find like a copy for like $20 that's like in okay condition, and you want to wait till that movie comes out, for sure.
And then buy it on that plummet, like Michael Baker
said.
Buy
it on the plummet.
Yeah. And
then wait till Sony, brings in Madam Web into the Spider-Verse. That's like my whole.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I think the rumors that I heard recently, and I was telling Ferd that Spider-Man 4 is apparently supposed to bring the two worlds together, like the Sony and the MCU.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that they have their movie coming out with her prior to that happening, because I feel like that's going to play, like you were saying, it's going to play a part in bringing that together. Also bringing the Spider-Verse in, maybe getting a live action Miles out of it, stuff like that. So,
yeah, you were talking about that yesterday, dude. That's why I brought this book up. And Jason, you'll probably agree with me on this, since we watched the cartoon together. Madam Web, when I remember like reading her like in some books, like she was always like this like advisor almost, or like she kind of lived in her own world, almost like a deity, if you will, like a witch, I guess, that that Peter would go to like for advice, and
she would just like talk shit to him.
Yeah, and saying like, "Oh, you're not doing this right, Peter." I don't know. Anyway, the movie, she's like Dakota Johnson. Like Dakota Johnson's like I don't know. Like she's like younger, and she doesn't like it. So I'm not gonna watch the movie based off that, because they're not adhering to like the lore. I think they could really mess up that character if they're gonna do like what Fedora's alluding to, unless they retcon her like in the Spider-Verse like 3 or whatever. But so that's why like I think this is total FOMO, because
that's why I think it's total FOMO too.
And obviously I think people in the chat probably agree as well.
For me to even reach that hard to justify the purchase of a book, like you already know it's FOMO. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm trying to make it make sense in my head for people that might be trying to figure out a reason on why they should buy it.
Yeah.
But that's like the best. That's like I'm elongating I'm being elongated man. I'm being Mr. Fantastic. I'm being Plastic Man. I'm stretching real hard to help you guys justify your purchase.
Oh, go ahead, Jason.
I was gonna say maybe they're gonna Titanic the movie, and then the whole time it'll be like old Madam Web telling the story, and then at the end of the movie it's gonna like flash forward, and she's gonna be there like, that's how I became who I was, and to quote Ferdy's voice.
Hey, that's a possibility.
I do like though, like if you're really gonna stretch it out. I like the thought of the Spider-Verse version of Madam Web buying on the dip when the movie comes out and everyone shits on it, just like Morbius. Anyway, Jason and I, we talked about this on the ride home yesterday. Uncanny 164, first appearance of Binary. I don't know anyone who gave a shit about Binary back in the day, and this jumped. And this is from Jason. This is Jason's market report. He was looking at this book like a week or two before the movie came out. It was selling for $10. Now it's up to like $30 raw. Are you guys really excited about this? I mean, I don't know.
It's just another version of. I mean, she and Monica have the same powers. Like, it's just a different name.
Oh, sorry, I'm reading the chat.
Like, it's like I don't like Binary was. I mean, Binary only.
She has a dope design.
Binary is like kind of is only crucial for the movie itself. I would say like she's just an X-Men character who was introduced through those books, and they're using her as like a branch to also move over or bring basically the X-Men into the MCU.
Yeah, no, I think it's just funny how like if this is like this is like an F-list character, to buy for $30.
Z-list, Z. Not even like F, Z.
It's like a number sign character, you know what I'm saying? So and yeah, I mean like Renee was saying, he was all about Uncanny back in the day. I'm sure like if I was trying to complete a run, I'd probably wait until later down the road. So Fedora, spoilers, she shows up in the end credit scene. And when it's come to FOMO or like, this new wave of investing in comic books, when a character shows up in an end credit scene or a trailer comes out, those are like the times to like sell your books, because the FOMO is going to follow that, because everyone's going to be, oh, yada, yada, right? So this is definitely a FOMO buy, in my opinion. Do not buy this book. I would say like ever if you're basing it off of MCU X-Men like spec. She's just a shitty character, man. Go get a blue chip X-Men character. Like why would you pay $30 for this and not pay, I don't know, 80 to 100 for First Gambit? That's an extra $60 for a blue chip character. I guess it's another thing I've always tried to process through my head. I don't know. What do you guys think about what I just said there? That's a little reach, but what do you guys think?
No, I mean, this is like this character's a who? Like what? Like who the hell? Like,
yeah. The one thing though I would say, Jason, is they did the costume pretty like, close to the source material, right?
Yeah, I mean basically the only difference was they switched the character out because that right there is Carol Danvers on the book.
Right. Yeah.
So they did not go the route of turning Carol Danvers into binary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely plays more it's more interesting for the movie because of who she represents to Monica as well. Like, so it keeps that, it's more interesting to have that attachment.
Sure.
Switch a character over and be like, oh, she's not Captain Marvel anymore. Now she's binary.
Yeah. Yeah. No, before going to the next slide, just want to say thanks to everyone for watching. We're almost an hour into the show. Click that like, subscribe, join the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, let me know. I'll put the link in the comment section there. But I do appreciate everyone's contributions to the show today, and good luck to your fantasy teams. It's almost playoff week.
I don't know how many people are actually going in mine right now, but I've only gotten 2 updates so far. One for Dalton Schultz getting a touchdown, and one for Jahmyr Gibbs running for one.
Oh, so you're not paying attention to the show? That's great.
No, I am, but I'm watching because I can't get the live chat here. I have to watch it on my phone, and so the updates.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the same thing. I don't care. I don't care about the show. Oh, did I say that? I'm just kidding. Next book on the list. So I did 2. So this was like disappointing and happy for me at the same time. Disappointing because an announcement came out this week, like leaked or whatever you want to say, but Robert Kirkman came out and said that, his boy, what's the dude's name? Shit.
Steven Yeun.
Steve Yeun is cast as Sentry. I'm really disappointed about that for 2 reasons. One, Sentry is not of Asian descent. And number 2, I would have rather seen him cast as Amadeus Cho. So the OG cover is my favorite cover of the Sentry. I've talked about this book all the time. I think I mentioned it last week. It's a modern grail. I'll probably never sell it just because I got it for so cheap, and it's a 9.8. It's really tough to get 9.8 out of this book. It didn't move a ton though. I saw a 9.8 go for $350. I think 9.8s a month ago we're going for like $275, $250, which is a pretty good buy if you're a collector. I like the interior page cover of the SDCC variant a little better than the original cover, just because I dug that interior page by Mr. J. Lee. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like this is kind of a tough one for me because it didn't really rise a ton in price. I'm really curious if that Steven Yeun info. I feel like that pop in the FOMO quote unquote for this book. I don't think it was like. I think people are still kind of cautious in buying this book, but until like he shows up on the big screen or like a trailer, it's not really going to move the needle on Sentry, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
It's already nearly a $400 book, so I think like in this market, like everybody's trying to like buy in cheap, So this is Sentry is like a character that like not many. I guess we have to like look at it from a perspective of like it doesn't make sense to us because we're in the know, and I'm assuming that people who don't know any better are the ones paying $500-$600 for this book. So it's like if you're just the regular guy with a bunch of money, Sentry is like not a character that you're gonna know. So you're not gonna go on eBay and go, oh my god, I gotta have this. I know Steven Yeun has like a really big fan base, and his acting range is phenomenal. And I know he has like a lot of fans.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think his fans or the people that watch the MCU and like Steven Yeun really know who Sentry is.
Sure.
And they're not willing to spend $400 on like a character where, the MCU is like in a bit of a bad spot right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, I'm not gonna buy this because the movie may or may not be good. XYZ, blah, blah, blah. So I think like it's always been a book that people, want, but I don't think it's a book that like the casual MCU, let me just buy this at 9.8 because I'm trying to relive my childhood, would want to go out and get.
Oh, I didn't think of that like non-comic readers that are like movie goers or Steven Yeun fans would be like, oh yeah, Sentry's not Korean, he's a white guy.
Yeah, because think of it like Madam Web, right? Like people buying the Madam Web book are like people who watch the Spider-Man films or like, when they were kids and shit. It's like they know Madam Web is big from like the 90s animated series and shit like that. So the Madam Web stuff makes sense as to why it's going up, or even Static. Like when the movie was announced, the book went from like $5 to $30, and then the Platinum Edition went from like $20 to $1,000 or in the hundreds. So that makes sense because Static is a mainstream. Madam Web is kind of mainstream. So Sentry, not many people know who he is, so that plays a big factor, especially with the price point, the down market. I still think it's a good book to own, whether the movie does well or not. That's just my opinion.
Jason, I've recommended this book to you, right? You read it a few times.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that they were going to so there's like characters that like actors or like musicians or whatever have been like campaigning for or wanting to portray. Like I'm a huge fan of Method Man playing Bishop if they ever bring Bishop into the X-Men because he's I've seen cosplay of him done up and I was like, holy shit, he looks like Bishop. That would make sense. I was hoping that Ryan Hurst was going to play Sentry. He even came out publicly and said it. And I was like, dude, he would be freaking perfect to play him. You know who Ryan Hurst is, right? The guy who played Opie in Sons of Anarchy and he was Beta in Walking Dead. Like that dude would have been a perfect Sentry. And he like actually bulked up and got fucking ripped and cut and was like campaigning for it. And then nothing. And I'm just going to stop like hoping for stuff like that because it's just never going to happen.
And like, it's not like he's like that is a perfect freaking casting for like the dark side of Sentry. Like he's like such a broken like person. If you guys haven't read Sentry, like read it. The reason I was just so against it is because Sentry, if you guys haven't read Sentry, he's basically like it's a character that was written like in the beginning days of Marvel. That's how the lore is. And then he comes back in 2000. So he's like a scientist in like the 50s and 40s. And then he gets hit with a super serum and then like, becomes like America's like basically superhero and then goes into like deep depression. What is the likelihood of like back then in the 50s and 60s of like or 40s of a successful Asian scientist? It just doesn't really fit with like the political like spectrum of that era. So that's why I think the casting just doesn't make any sense to me. And like the other thing too is Opie versus Steven Yeun, like money wise, that doesn't make sense to me either.
Well, yeah, and it's not, and like I said, I think we talked about this yesterday. I was like, it's not any discredit to Steven Yeun. Like I love everything that he's done. Like even he had a show on Netflix called Beef that was freaking hilarious. It was like a dark comedy. And so like, it's not that I'm hating on him. It's just like, I just don't like the casting as far as like,
I hate it.
I don't know what you're going to do with it. Like you announced it. And I'm like, I don't know where, like now you're making me question like where the Sentry movie is going to go. Like, what are you actually planning on doing with the character?
I mean, I don't even think he's going to get a movie. He might just show up.
He may just show up in Thunderbolts. That's the rumor? He's gonna show up in Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe
might just
that's
be
not
in like
important.
a cage somewhere. Like they'll walk through like a research lab, and it'll just be like, hey.
and maybe the origin story, because like origins are hard to do with every character. Maybe it's not going to be part of like the lore, but like as a Sentry fan, quote unquote, like that's just what is kind of annoying, because like, you know, Marvel was so good at like basically, or Disney was so good with Marvel as just taking the source material and just putting it on the big screen. That's all you have to do. And so like complicating things like and putting your own spin on it, it's just frustrating. But
it's like you have the script. Yeah. Like it is written for you. All you have to do is just make it happen up there.
Yeah. So back to the subject at hand. I would say this is like pseudo FOMO. It's like it's not really FOMO because it's just a casting like rumor. So I would say this is just like, oh, I forgot about Sentry. Maybe I'll look in to see what the prices are. But from the prices, I didn't see a lot of FOMO in this book, in my opinion. So anyway, last slide before we're almost done. Back to kind of new comic book day stuff. This is still, I think, to be determined, but I think it's FOMO. I just have not liked Black Panther at all. Like any of the new Black Panther stuff, it's like, oh, we're gonna try a new character and then like kill it like the next issue. So there's no consistency with the book. But Fedora, go ahead.
People were asking for this, but I had no idea what the hell this book was.
First appearance of a new King character. It's Black Panther 1 and 6, number 1 and 25.
This is like one of the newer ones, isn't it?
It like just came out.
I heard about it, but
anybody talk about it at the
pre-sales are going for 125. It's a cool cover, I guess, but
bucks?
Yeah, I don't even know if that's the character's cover. I could kind of see that being like 125, but
it looks cool. I mean, it's somewhat basic, but I mean, it's a cool looking cover. But like you were saying, the guts of the books for Black Panther recently have been just
suck.
Yeah, it's not great.
These are like these are like Tosin prices, in my opinion. So I think it's FOMO.
I know that book in particular was very, very low print because I've never even seen that cover, so I'm just now seeing it just right now. I know a few people asked for the 1 in 25 of Black Panther, and I'm like, why would you come in asking for like an oddly specific book? Because Black Panther is not a title that people I don't see many people buy it. I know people buy it, and we didn't get many copies of that on the shelf, so I don't know. I'm out of the loop. I don't know what's going on in the story. I know there's like a bunch of first appearances and things like that, but yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see the sales rate, or like let's see the sales. I'm just curious. So right now, I mean like $100. You know, right there. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. 102. It might just be Black Panther fans. I don't know, but I think this is definite FOMO. This is definitely like a book. Like,
is this sold prices? Or
these are they're still up.
Okay, I saw that one for $11.99. I was like, damn. I was like, somebody got away with a steal. These other prices.
So it's already come down. Look, I mean, it's like $99 right there. When I saw was like 140. People were pre-sales were 140. So I mean, it's really first appearance of King Metelli. I don't even know if that's the guy. Like, is that the character? I don't read Black Panther, so anyway, I think this is FOMO, and this will drop in the next few months. Okay, cool. Thanks, man, and welcome to the chat. Let's see here. So back to our last FOMO book of the show today, The Authority #1. You know, when the new DC universe got announced, like I was stoked that they announced The Authority being being part of the new movie lineup. This shot up big time to like a $50 book, and it looks like it's shot up again to a $50 book. I saw a recent sale go for 50. 9/8s are cooled off a little bit. I remember selling my 9/8 for like $550 when the news came out. So kudos to me. Just kidding. But yeah, man, like there's been some more movie announcements. Evidently, there's just some casting announcements. I don't know exactly. Let me look this up. The Authority casting. Oh, I guess Jenny Sparks has been announced. The Engineer, that was the big one.
Alexander Skarsgård.
Alexander Skarsgård. Yeah.
Sam Worthington, that's a name I haven't heard from attached to anything other than an Avatar movie in a while.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, so a lot of announcement stuff, but I mean DC's still like years away from even getting filmed. We got a lot of guys like taking, or a lot of subjects being kind of kicked back in a while, but I think this is like I think this is definite FOMO because of the price increase, almost 100%, just based off casting. I never buy books. Like if I'm really into a comic book and like I haven't had in a while, I just always think casting announcements are kind of blah. But like if you get me like some like still pictures and stuff, that's a little bit more like concrete. However, just at the basis of just like everything, like I think it's dumb to buy these books right now. Yeah, and hey, to cure back to the Black Panther book. I haven't read. That's basically the reason I haven't read Black Panther, because the story sucks. I think they should just shut it down, honestly, because like the movie hasn't. I mean, the movie's kind of killed the comic book, in my opinion, as well. And last but not least, just some random stuff to kind of keep you away from that FOMO. You know, it's still fun for me to go out to a comic book store and go hunting for like certain things, but I just thought this was kind of fun. Last issues are always like kind of a fun one to go after, but there's a couple last issues I saw that are still pretty priced, you know, consistently. These are raw raw sales I saw.
I know somebody that has the Static Shock before the last one at 9.8.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you're interested.
Oh no, I think I have that one, and I have this book in 9.6, so I'm gonna send it off to get reslabbed and all that good stuff. The Darkness number 40 doesn't go for a ton, but I brought attention to this one because I guess the series is coming out again. That was like one of my favorite series of all time. Teen Titans Go, the last issue goes for like $50, and I don't know if that's really the last issue of Sonic the Hedgehog, but it goes for like 80 raw. Chat, I don't know if there's any big Sonic issues in here or Sonic fans out here.
Sonic
yeah.
is I mean, I buy all the Sonic issues that come out. And Sonic, their comics sell a lot, like with adults, children coming in with their parents buy their children like you know, the books every month, teenagers, adults. So there's like a big market for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Sonic comics, they don't get like a huge print run. So just keep that in mind, that there's kids reading, there's kids getting their parents to buy them these things, singles, like the singles, not even like the TPBs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so keep that in mind, that when you're buying Sonic, that kids are getting their hands on these, and they're not going to be in high grade.
Yeah, so, I think it's a great series to collect. I've been kind of intrigued by it myself, and I know like my nieces and nephews, they're Sonic fans, and they don't even have like the games. They just like the shows, or just like the art, I think, too. So
so
well, man, that's our show. I don't know what happened to Pickles. But,
he's in the fantasy realm.
Oh, no, wow. I was there. I was still talkable. I was just wandering around.
Yeah,
I didn't shut up, so I wanted to feed her real quick.
Oh, that's all good. But yeah, that's our show, man. Yeah, Jason, the last slide was just about like last issues, man. Is there last issues? Do you ever like look for last issues at all, or are you just kind of like meh?
Yeah, I've been looking for that Static, actually. It's just way too high price.
Oh wait, hold on.
What is he doing?
He has the last issue of
He's going to pull his off of the wall.
He has the last issue I hope he has the last issue of Dark Hawk.
You're looking
Is that the last issue of Dark Hawk?
You're looking for what issue? This issue?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. I have it. Oh.
That's like the Grail Static book.
Dude,
isn't that sun today, bro?
It's so sick. Yeah. I'm gonna send this in and get regraded and all that good stuff. But yeah. So, Well, that's our show for today. Any closing thoughts, Fedora?
Disclaimer: I do not flip or sell books. Always remember that. I'm a man of honor. Also, closing thoughts: read your books. Read your books so you can be ahead of the curve. Read, because if you ain't reading, then you're gonna be on the CBSI Facebook like, oh, it's FOMO. So, yeah, that's my closing thoughts.
All right. And Jason, do you have any closing thoughts?
Not really.
Disappointed.
Wait, yo, before you leave, some dude came into the store and bought like 7 copies of My Little Pony and was like, yo, I gotta catch up.
Oh, fuck that guy, dude. Did he unalive himself?
He was a weirdo, bro.
I've been like, yo, is that really a good story?
I ain't even
that read.
Yeah. I ain't even want to talk to him. I was like, bro, just keep it. Like, I was like, keep it pushing, bro. Like, he was like, like every like I don't like that was wild. That was and what was even wilder was the person that pre-ordered all of those My Little Pony books for like the 50 copies. So like I don't know, bro. I don't that My Little Pony stuff.
Oh, my Silver Surfer shirt.
You want to see it?
It's could you imagine in 30 years
they
from
always
now
cut
if
the
like,
little
My Little
thing
Pony
down
books
the corner,
explode?
They always cut these out.
Oh, there's no way. Yeah. A shout out to Trey. he's wondering if that My Little Pony dude was a little guy looking for one. I love it. Yeah, we don't buy My Little Pony here or suggest it on any FLC list. I'm sorry.
I only do Sonic.
Yeah, I think Sonic's cool. My Little Pony's, man, when I was a kid, My Little Pony's for girls, man. Like, it's
Care Bears.
Care Bears is cool. When
they hit you with that Care Bear stare, baby.
Anyway.
They just shoot straight love out of their stomachs.
Yeah. Love it.
I'm
thanks,
getting
guys.
on the train now.
All right, bro. We'll see you later.
Gotta start my day.
Y'all have a great Sunday.
I gotta go have hot cocoa.
Yeah.
You guys have a great day. Thanks again. Good luck to your fantasy leagues. Click that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, and appreciate you guys' support. I will be
Pokemon show coming.
Pokemon show coming.
And for this show, I will be inside my house.
Oh, okay.
So that's gonna be it's gonna be the new one. So if you want to see me inside, you gotta catch the Pokemon show.
All right.
Outside.
We'll do a good job of advertising that. Ronin 5 show on Tuesday, talking all that crazy collectible stuff. So tune in. We'll probably do it 6 o'clock Pacific time. I don't know if I'll do a giveaway on Tuesday, but a little something for you guys before Thanksgiving. If I don't see you guys before Thanksgiving, have a great Thanksgiving day. We'll see y'all later. Have a great day.
We out.
We out.